Hey everybody, let's talk about counter steering. So, do you push or pull? Well, kind of depends on what situation you're in. So, there are people that suggest that you push. That's not really counter steering if you're pushing. So right now I'm going to push with my right hand, right? So I'm pushing with my right hand, I go right. Now I'm going to push with my left, I go left. So where's the counter in that? Let's go on the road here to get some more momentum. So, now again, I'm going to be pushing with my left right now. I go left. I'm going to be pushing with my right. I go right. Now the thing about it is, a human's hands are made in such a way that they feel more comfortable pulling instead of pushing. It's not very natural to push with the hands. They're kind of made to grab. You see the fingers, same thing with martial arts. You're not really supposed to use your hands to strike. They're meant for grab and pulling. So if you're going to strike someone, just get something heavy in your hand, and it's better to strike with a heavier object, Basically, get used to using things for what they're designed to do, and that'll just make your life a whole lot easier. So now, knowing that, now that we know that our arms are made to pull, now let's try that counter steering technique. Now, here it really will be counter steering, because look, right now, I'm going to be pulling with my right hand. So I start pulling on the bar. Look, you see what it's doing? The bike went left. I'm going to start pulling with my left hand. You see that? The bike went right. So it is counterintuitive, and it is easier to push because it's easier to learn to push, because you know that, hey, you got something coming up, you got like a pothole or something, you know that if you push left, you're going to go left. If you push right, you're going to go right. Just like a gentle push. I'll show you, even if you just barely push, you see? You just barely push, you start going right. So it's easier to learn to do it that way, but if you teach yourself both techniques and you kind of become coordinated in a sense, this will allow you to make that swerve, that maneuver, much quicker by pulling. And you can actually combine them. You can pull and push, and pull and push, and you'll swerve quicker. Or just pull. I like doing just the pull, so you can play around with it and see what's the best for you. I like just doing a little jerk here and there, and that'll make your bike go around that pothole. But if you don't train yourself and keep doing it until you kind of memorize, your body memorizes that when you pull on the right handle, you are going to go left. Now, when people are riding the bike, they kind of do it automatically without really thinking about it. And, when you get on the bike, you just kind of naturally understand what you need to do. But if you really want to get to the bottom of it, you need to understand all these things. So try all those techniques and see which one in which situations works better for you. I found out for my personal riding, when I'm riding, this could be different for everybody, but when I push, it's very subtle. It's very subtle, because like I was saying, It's not natural for a person's hand to try to push something. So you see, it's very subtle when I push, but when I pull, you can really go around something. So that's the differences in those two counter steering techniques that I have discovered personally. Say you want to go around something real quick, so let's imagine we have like a pothole there. So we pull left, we go around it. We pull right, we go around it. Now, if we have a pothole, it's coming up quick, and we try to push, it's just not as snappy. It's not as snappy, you understand? It just, I don't know, you have to do it to actually feel it, to understand it. When you pull, because your arms are meant to pull, when you pull, it's just much snappier. But again, it's really going to depend on if you want to spend that time to learn that technique. If you don't have the time to learn that technique, if you don't have the time to practice too much and memorize it, then just remember, when you push left on the handlebar, it goes left. You push right, it goes right. So that's very easy to remember. And right now, I'm not talking about leaning. I'm not talking about cornering, going around turns. I'm talking about going around potholes or something in the road that's going to allow you to swerve real quick. That is counter steering as far as I'm concerned. That's the type of counter steering you can use to go around potholes and stuff. You see, a bike don't really you don't really need to put too much effort into controlling a bike. I mean, the bike just, it wants to go straight. So the only time it wants to crash is when a person does something wrong. You see, it just goes straight. You don't even need to use your hands. So how do you make a bike crash? Well, you got to do something real stupid. I made this photo with words on it. It's called a meme or whatever. I don't know what they call it, but I think it's called a meme. That's what I've seen. So I made that, and it said that this gentleman had ridden for 45 years and had never fallen. That's what he had told me, so I'd made that photo with the words on it. And people are saying, he's a liar, and that can't be. Everybody either has fallen or will fall on a motorcycle. Well, first of all, whatever a person believes, whatever his kind of thoughts about things are in his life, that's how it is. So, you take one person who has a philosophy of having very little and living under a rock. He thinks that that's the best way to live, and that's the best way to live for him. But another person has a different philosophy. He wants to have more and more things, and he does. So what you think about, kind of, how do I explain it? It's like what your conclusions are about a certain thing or subject or whatever is how your life is going to start forming. So if you are living and your conclusion is that everybody will either fall or has fallen on a motorcycle. And see, some person said that, and a whole bunch of people believed it. And that's no good. That's really no good. So if you believe something different in your life, it will be different. And It's very easy to prove what I'm saying. It works. It is the truth. It's very easy to prove that. Just go and talk to a bunch of different people and ask them what their beliefs are and what conclusions they have about certain things, and you will see. You will see it's as I'm saying. I wanted to touch on something else, but I forgot. So I'll see you guys later.